All right, Shalom. It's a brother Kwashab coming back at you with another lesson. Now, before I get started, I want to give all praises, glory, infinite honors unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Chakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who taught me this truth and rule well. And peace, blessings, salutations be to the hopefully elect, as well as those that believe in the gospel and may you endure it to the end, Lord willing. All right, and I just want to go into a quick lesson today. Just something I was kind of meditating on, this morning, and one thing for sure, is that the people of Israel, all right, the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right, what the Lord is getting ready to do for us as a nation is ultimately going to be beautiful, all right, even with the destruction of, 2/3, all right, it's all for a greater cause, man, all right, because what you have ultimately that's going to happen, that saying, all right, the nations clapping and hissing and, their hands at the, roughly paraphrase, and I'm going to get it in a minute, all right, these nations clapping and hissing, all right, wagging their hands. You say, oh, is this supposed to be the people of the Lord? But the Lord is getting ready to bring us back to that heavenly estate, man. All right, that condition. You see, he's getting ready to take us out of this hell, man. All right, and it's going to be marvelous and it's going to be beautiful in the eyes of the Lord, man. So if it's ultimately going to be beautiful in the eyes of the Lord, how much more for us to actually dwell in the beauty of the eyes of the Lord, man. All right, to be that perfection once again, that city of beauty, in which we can only imagine, generate certain images like this through the AI. All right, a man actually having the joy of his children, to actually see his enemies under his neck. All right, trample on their necks, man. You see, this is the ultimate reward, man. Which is why, like the brother Kabar, he did a lesson. We should never want to leave or forsake the Lord. All right, this is what's actually going to count. All right, when we have these moments, all right, in the kingdom, that's shortly coming upon us. All right, and to see and look out, like I have with the picture here queued up, and have our children and just actually seeing beauty. All right. Now I want to go into Zechariah the 8th chapter. All right. And I'm going to start at verse 3. It says, "Thus said the Lord Yahweh, I am returned unto Zion, and will dwell in the midst of Jerusalem, and Jerusalem shall be called a city of truth, and a mountain of the Lord Yahweh of hosts, the holy mountain. Thus said Yahweh, there shall yet old men and old women dwell in the streets of Jerusalem, and every man with his staff in his hand for very age." Verse 5, "And the streets of the city shall be full of boys and girls playing in the streets thereof. Thus said the Lord Yahweh of hosts, if it be marvelous in the eyes of the remnant of this people in these days, shall it also be marvelous in mine eyes, said the Lord Yahweh." All right. And, we can't even imagine, all right, our children, all right, playing in the streets, man, all right, without something happening to them, let alone at school, all right, at a daycare, whatever it may be. We can't even imagine that, right? Because that's something that's always on our mind when they're not in our presence, that, something terrible may happen. Well, this is going to be a worry that, we won't even have to worry about anymore, all right? It's going to be at a point where you might not see your child for a couple of days, but you're going to know through the spirit that they're all right. They might be by a brother, all right? I forget the exact scriptures when they say our kids, not kids, not a kid, but it's a baby goat. But our children gonna play with lions, man. All right, the wildest animals, which is why the Lord said it's gonna be beautiful, man. It's gonna be beautiful in the Lord's eyes when you actually sit here and meditate on it. All right, visualize it. Especially with the state that you see us in today. All right, which is why Esdras, he rent his clothes. All right, he threw up when he seen that how bad ultimately our people were, how bad off our people were, But it says verse 6 in the NLT. Don't get in the GNT. It says, "This is what the Lord of Heaven's army says. All this may seem impossible to you now, a small remnant of God's people, but is it impossible for me?" All right, what's that remnant being the elect, All right. And the Lord asking a question, is it impossible for him? And we know it's not, right? When you go to Habakkuk 1, he said, "I will work a work in your day, which ye will not believe, yet it be told to you." You see? So when the Lord ultimately be magnified, all right, through the destruction and judgment, all right, this year being the hopeful year of our salvation and destruction and judgment on Esau, right? Hey, man, the Lord said he's going to beautify the meek with salvation, man. Psalms 149. You see? And we know it's not impossible for the Lord, all right? So this Zechariah 8:6 in the GNT, it says, "This may seem impossible to those of the nation who are now left, but it is not impossible for me. I will rescue my people from the lands where they have been taken and will bring them back from the east and west to live in Jerusalem. And they will be my people, and I will be their power, ruling over them faithfully and justly. Have courage. You are now hearing the same words the prophet spoke at the time the foundation was being laid for rebuilding my temple." All right. And that's the point, man. Have courage, have faith, believe that these things, man, you got to see these things happening, man. Like Apostle Gabar said, the prophets are visionaries. You got to have the vision, all right, to see these things happening, man. You see? It said, "Where there is no vision, the people perish." All right? So you got to see these things happening, man. But it was just it's a mountain of scriptures, that I can go into. But I really just want to focus in on Zechariah 8, man. All right? And the Lord being returned to us as a nation, But let's go to Lamentations 2, all right, in 15. It's Lamentations 2 and 15. It says, "All that pass by clap their hands at thee. They hiss, they wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying, Is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth?" All right? And that's what these nations do now. They clap their hands, they hiss, they wag their heads like, really? Y'all supposed to be the people of the Lord? Yeah, man, we are. You see, but this is an example of what happens when you go off from the Most High God, all right? We have been made an example, all right? And ultimately, there ain't going to be no more examples after this last captivity, all right? And after Esau is destroyed, man. You see? The joy of the whole earth, the perfection of beauty. All right, the NLT, it says, "Is this the city called the most beautiful in all the world, the joy of all the earth?" Well, that's coming back into play, man. All right? We're going to once again be those beautiful people, man. All right? The joy of the earth, you see? But we just have to wait patiently, man. All right? Just have to wait patiently, And this sayings, these scoffs, and these insults, how these nations look at us, or how they look down on us, all right? We're going to be looking down on them, man, But shortly coming to pass, man, the city of beauty, all right? That holy city, New Jerusalem, all right? Revelation 21:1, all right? Hey, man, we at the door, all right? But that's pretty much the point, man. I just wanted to, something I was just sitting here meditating on. And, I just